Welcome to XLTE Katcher episode 96 with Nomads.
Woohoo!
Carolina.
Yes, sir.
So, are they ready to join yet?
Yo, are you able to get into it?
Yeah, I'm trying to get in right now. No
Okay.
Do they need links too?
Hmm.
Do they need a link too? You can send them.
No, I sent the link to both of them
All right.
already. I'm just waiting for them to get in.
All right.
But yeah, man, I appreciate the opportunity, man.
Oh, you're welcome. How is the scene over there in North Carolina?
It's okay. I mean, it's just, it's more of an up and coming type of thing. There's a lot more things going on in North Carolina than it was like 3 to 5 years ago. So I would say North Carolina is definitely on the come up.
Oh, hell yeah. Who would you say is the biggest artist out there?
Right now, I'm gonna say like the Baby, J. Cole, Stunner for Vegas.
Oh wow, I didn't know they were from there. That's fucking crazy. I always thought Stunner from Vegas because he has a name. I thought he's from Las Vegas. That's crazy.
Nah. He from North Carolina. He's from Salisbury. My boy know him. So
damn, is the weather nice over there right now?
Yeah, it's pretty decent. It was raining for the week or whatever, but it started to clear out, so it's pretty nice now.
Yeah, for the viewers that don't know, your manager, you manage artists.
Yeah, man. I manage Flyboy Rail and a couple of the artists for the past couple of years. So, I mean, we started this back in like 2020, like the official brand in 2020. We were doing other stuff before that, but now from 2020 on, I've been kind of like giving them direction and everything, trying to help them build their careers and stuff.
So, if other artists want to work with you, how do they go about with reaching out to you? And like, what is it that you would like see from them? Like, what are your requirements that you'd want to see in an artist where it's like, I want to be that person's manager?
Okay, so I say like a simple DM or even a simple just phone call. I had an artist reach out last week with one of my friends from back in the day. What I kind of require is you to have like some sort of like branding, I would say. So like if you're gonna how do I explain it? If you're going to be an artist, try and do as much professional stuff as you can with what you have. Don't just put stuff out and hope for the best. Kind of have a game plan in place. I know I'm going to come with my version of a game plan, but always try and have some sort of game plan in place. Have a goal, because you can make music and just drop it. But if you don't have a goal, it really doesn't matter. So that's usually what I require from artists. And I usually try and talk to them and try and feel them out before I try and, manage them or whatever.
Yeah. So how did you come about with meeting Nomads?
We met back in college. So we started like in 2017. We were a different group, and then that group kind of fizzled out towards the end of 2019. And then 2020, Nomads kind of started. It was like four or five of us. And from there, we kind of just kept going and building and building.
All right. Are they coming on soon? What happened?
I don't know. Let me see. He said he's there, but it says he's just watching.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Huh, that's strange. Is he able to turn it on, or let me see here. Let me see. That's strange. Weird. Is it giving him an option to like turn his camera on, or what? Because I think he should be able to join. I think.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the same thing for Sing too, because they're both there.
Oh, okay. All right.
James is getting his camera. Well, Sing Beats is getting his camera set up, and then Flyboy Rail is in here, but he can't do anything.
Okay. I guess they're there, but I think their camera thing's not going. Hold on here. I think. All right. All right.
Okay, there's Sing Beats. What's up, SIE?
What's up, y'all?
What's up, bro?
How you been, bro?
I've been good, bro. I've been good. How about yourself, man?
Man.
Yeah, I can't complain.
I'm just trying to figure out how to get Rail out of seeing mode. He can't like join for some reason. It's weird. Oh, there we go.
All right. There we go. All right. All right. What's up? What's up, Flyboy?
I think he got the shit
Can
muted.
you
I
hear
think he
me?
got it muted. He got it muted. I think
Hello?
he doing it on his phone. That's why. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Hold on, wait. Hello?
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah. I can hear
hear
you
you, bro.
now.
Just
Nice. All right.
All right,
Nice.
right. Let's do some songs now.
say that again.
I said, okay, Flyboy. You could do a few of your songs.
What I was gonna say is, I mean, y'all can introduce yourselves. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Flyboy Rel. I guess you could say I head founder Nomads. I originated the group, pretty much me and Slime. We reached
Yeah.
out, started connecting with many people from our environment as possible to get the group going. I'm also a manga artist, so I'm working on something on the side as well. So if you ever see my music album Okami show up, and that's also going to be in multiple places as well. But yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know about me.
Yeah. And, and then introduce yourself too.
What's up, y'all? Yeah, I'm one of the main producers, if not DJ, for the Nomads collective music group. My name's Sing. That's what I go by. Been producing ever since I was a kid. You know, Rel brought me in when he first started this. I've been all over the place, even ended up going to Full Sail for a bit. So that's kind of my life right now. Producer, I do content marketing at a hemp dispensary here in NC. So I'm just all around content and stuff.
All right. Okay. And then Flyboy, are you able to where you're at perform a few of your songs?
I can't necessarily perform right now, no.
All right, all right. Well, let's just talk about the new album and the inspiration behind it, and just a little bit what your music is in general. What Nomads actually is.
All right, yeah. So as far as my album goes, my latest project I just put out was Okami, and that was it's my manga, so it originated as that, just like script. And so that eventually became a larger scope of a project. If you go through the project itself, the track titles are reminiscent of some of the characters' names or environments or struggles that they go through. And so I'm kind of narrating throughout the album as well to like kind of provide some type of clarity or storytelling as well. So I'm approaching the musical craft through, uh, I guess you could say like other forms of media. Like so I'm not just traditionally making music. I'm also doing other things within those tracks,
Yeah,
telling a story, so to say. Um, but Nomads music has how like as far as that goes, we all came together, like Rob said, back in around 2017, 2018, and
yeah,
it's more than just everyone here that's on the screen, but there's at least like two other artists or three other that we work closely with, and I was just pretty much trying to figure out who in my area is just a really good artist, whether it's just through making merchandise, paintings, or crafts, anything. It's not just music, any type of art. And so I was recruiting people, and then I came across these three other guys, and I was like, oh yeah, no, these guys are the truth. So um, making music with them, like it's been fantastic. Those are going to be Lava God and Leo Era, specifically those two. So check them out if you get a chance. They have projects and music out as well.
yeah. So it's amazing you did a concept album based on the anime. So besides that, like, would there be any like super villain or horror movie or cartoon character you would do an album based on?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Um, the album itself is only like part one of a fully told story. So the first, like you look at the Okami album itself, there's a character on there. That's gonna be the main character, this guy right here.
Yeah,
Um, so he's on the front cover and he's the main character. And so for part two of the album, you'll get the super villain side of the story, so to speak. So you'll be able to see like and hear through the songs like the variations and differences. Like the first album is going to sound more lighthearted,
yeah,
inspirational, And then the part two is just going to sound a lot darker, a lot more focused, just really gritty.
Yeah. So, and my other question is, do you feel like there was ever a time, like in your guy's life, where you were just mean or you're asshole to somebody, but you weren't like meaning to? You were just like, going through something mentally or just actually physically in pain or sick, but you didn't mean to be like mean to somebody. But then like people like say, "Oh, you're an asshole because of that one time thing." Because I feel like we've all been through that moment where somebody labels us from that one moment, and it's like, that day I was just like going through something mentally or I was sick or something like that. But has that ever happened to any of you?
Yeah, I mean, definitely had that, happen before. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
miscommunication. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it
you
happens
could
in our
really,
everyday lives.
yeah,
Yeah,
right, yeah,
and
all the time.
as a
Yeah.
producer, as an artist, it's common. I mean, people all have their own journey. People all have their own thing going with their singles or solo acts or their groups. So sometimes you got to kind of be like, man, why didn't I finish that project with that guy? Or, whatever happened to Homeboy, where's he at? I mean, it just kind of happens, so, but I still
Yeah.
stay connected.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's one of the things that's wrong with this generation is people are just too scared to be honest with people. They let people judge them, and then they don't want to be like, oh, I was going through something mentally, or I suffer from trauma experiences. Why I'm like mean to people, or I'm actually physically sick, or I'm in pain. And I feel like it's important that people understand that so they don't perceive you as something that you're not, like because a lot of people don't even question things anymore. They just go with the flow. And it's like you got to question things. You can't just follow everybody else. And that's the thing that's wrong with society. Everybody is just constantly fucking following everybody and all the trends. And just like, the whole wave of Lafufu and Labubu and all that kind of shit. Everybody's getting one of those things because everybody else is. But it's like, do people actually want them? Do they like them? Just like pop figures. Like, do people want that? Do they want that? Like, I like pop figures. I think they're pretty cool. It's fun to get them autographed, but there's people who just jump on it because it's a wave. So, I feel like that's also how music is in this generation too. A lot of people ride a certain wave or like certain artists, and like I say any names, but then their entire career like it completely flops because they were trying to ride a wave that they know nothing about and it destroyed them. Like, I mean, do you feel like personally you know any artists that like tried to ride a wave and they fell off because they lost their originality? And plus, how do you guys not end up going that route? Because a lot of artists do. They ride the wrong wave and they fall off, and you never want to fall off. This is it's
Right,
about
right.
staying relevant but staying true to your original sound.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
With all due respect, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being inspired. I think being inspired is one of the first things to usher in your creativity, like being honest. But I do know some people that do ride waves and trends that, you know, unfortunately you see that it doesn't last long. You gotta have some type of originality that keeps you with some, longevity in what you're doing. So fortunately for us, back when I was in the recruiting process of building Nomads, it was important to me that I like recruited people who were like really good at what they already did and like that they were already kind of trendsetters in their own way. I really encourage people to go listen to not just my music, but Lava God, Leo Era, any of the Nomads tracks that we put together with some of the local artists in that area at the time, because those are all people who are completely original in their own crafts. And those are the only people that I really prefer to work with.
Yeah. And how do you feel about that?
Me personally, as a producer, I mean,
Yeah.
I have a whole bunch of stories for you, man. I mean, when I've had guys send me stuff on AirPods and say, "Hey, man, clean this up and make it like a top 40 Billboard track," and I'm like, I'm just kind of getting started myself. I mean, I can't put the blame on anybody. I feel like for me, as I got better at my craft.
Yeah.
And a little bit more down the road in my craft, even finding ways to use it in my full time, that's when I started meeting other people that were just as serious I always blame myself before I blame somebody
Yeah.
else. You know, and you never know. I've heard, I mean, there's people that make songs off GarageBand and AirPods, and they do make it big. But I just know when I first started off, it's not like now, where it's like, hey, interview, hey, do you have a track? It was like, hey, dude, can you just like come over with your laptop? And I'm like, if only it was
Yeah.
that simple. So, you know, so yeah, to that point, yeah, I try to keep myself open as much as I can. But originality is huge for me. I personally, as a producer, produce music to kind of calm myself. I used to go out and party a lot, and you know, I'll just fall on the sword. Music is what stopped me from staying, you know, getting in trouble. It allowed me to just kind of stay at home, focus on my craft, and get around people that are actually moving towards something that's going to last, not a cool time on a
Yeah.
weekend. So
You know, and also I feel like you know, the best art, whether it's movies, music, video games, graphic art, concept design, you know, any kind of art medium in this industry, I feel like the best one is when you learn life lessons. Because even today, I was watching a show the other day called Heavily Ever After, and I feel like sometimes there's certain shows and movies and TV shows, you know, or even music, that after you watch it, you learn a new life lesson that's like, fuck, I didn't see things like that, but now I see things in a more clear way. So do you feel like in this generation there's more of that or there's less of that, like versus when you were younger? Because I feel like when we were younger, there was a lot more positivity in the art, and you would learn a lot of life lessons. I feel like now you gotta like search, but for mainstream, it's kind of hard to find it. But I feel like it's more easier to see in the independent film or you know, independent music or independent art to find those life lessons, but you can't really see it in the mainstream because it's more like um, AI, you know, storylines or a fake storyline, you know, or like, for example, like the romance movies, like, oh, this dude met a girl in the grocery store, they got married, and it's like, y'all know that's a fake shit right there, you know. But I like the ones that are like real stories, you know, like, oh, okay, but then they took a few years to fall in love, then they got married, and it's like, you know, I feel like also in this generation, a lot of realism is just not really there anymore. But how you feel about, you know, that kind of stuff, like when you were younger versus now?
Mm, well, I say this, like, I mean, I think storytelling in specifically hip hop in general is just kind of like the backbone of what it is. You know, it's meant to be people reflecting what's happening in their natural environment. You know, and I do think there's been a shift. There's definitely been a shift at some point where the storytelling, you know, it either became darker or people were faking the funk. You know, they were just kind of fabricating stories to get paid. You know, at the end of the day, and you kind of see those people, like I say, they're not original, so they start to fizzle out. So the people that stay original, you know, that are the trendsetters, they're the ones that typically, you know, they get up into their 40s and 50s and they're still selling out concerts. You know what I'm saying? Like people go to them, listen to them for a specific reason. You know, that's what I typically want Nomads to, you know, be able to achieve and accomplish. You know, and so even within my own, you know, I could be my own, what do you say, hypocrite. You know, I make
Yeah.
this latest album was about um, like a fictional character, so to speak, but there were real life events that took place in that album. You know, while I was creating it, that led toward inspiration for some of those tracks. So you know, I think it's just got to be original. You know, tell your story and you know do it passionately. You know, who cares who's listening? You know, I don't
Yeah.
care that, you know, I make music from, you know, a different lens than what somebody else does. Like, you know, I'll still respect them all the same, but stay original.
That's true. And you know, where would you guys play a show? Space Station, Hell, Heaven, Into the World, the Playboy Mansion, a zoo, or airport?
Oh man, I say airport.
really,
That
Airport.
would
I
be
don't know,
sick.
like there's a lot of
the
cool
toss up.
like stuff there, but I'm like airport, man. I don't know. I would love to like perform in an airport for some reason, like especially if it was like lit, you know,
Yeah,
like we had like planes flying in the background, and you know,
that would
all
be
the stuff.
sick. Yeah, because I remember Snoop Dogg made that movie Soul Plane, and that fucking was legendary. I think it was a real plane for the movie, and he had like a whole club on that fucking plane. That shit's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Imagine a music video, you know, first class.
Yeah. And then, who would you be? A dragon, a beast, or undersea creature?
Mhm.
Hmm, Probably a dragon. Dragon can fly, so
Yeah.
it's like I can, see the world from top down.
Do you believe dragons were real at some point, or that they are still real? They're just hidden. You can't find them.
There was probably something that looked like a dragon, like years ago. Somebody like, you know, put on drew up in a cave, and I don't know. Now we look at it, something that's probably completely different. But yeah, I mean, there's probably something that looked like a dragon, maybe.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, they even got the what is it, the Chinese zodiac signs, and one of them is a dragon. And it's like all of them are based on real animals. So I'm like, I don't know. I think maybe dragons might be hidden somewhere still on this earth. I mean, we keep on discovering new animals all the time.
Yeah, it's not out of realm of possibility.
And what would you rather do? Swim with the shark, swim with the whale, ride on Bigfoot's back, ride on a unicorn, ride on Leviathan, ride on a Cyclops, ride on Cthulhu, or fly an eagle, or ride on Phoenix.
Like, y'all,
On a
anybody else want
phoenix?
to answer?
Ride on a phoenix, I guess.
That would be
Phoenix
sick.
sounds cool.
Why not?
With you on that.
Yeah, that would be
That
sick.
sounds something different.
And how would you help someone through a dark time in life?
Mm, I just listen, be there. You know, it's not all the time that you have to offer advice. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just offer your presence.
Yeah.
I would say,
And
oh, sorry. I
okay,
was just
yeah.
gonna say
Yeah. My bad.
maybe just especially when you're trying to be independent, just getting comfortable in your own skin. That's a big one. I feel like anybody can get over a lot the more comfortable they get with themselves.
That's true. And how do you feel, slime?
Just be present for that person in the moment and just be present. I mean, that's probably the best thing you can do to help somebody out. It's not always words. Sometimes it's actions. Sometimes it's just being there. It really just depends on the situation. Read the situation correctly. You can figure out how to help that person.
That's true. And then I feel like in USA at times, we as people we're just not a community. Versus you go to other countries, there's people who will help you pay for your gas. There's people who will help you pay for your lighting. They'll help you pay for your house bill. Hell, there's people who give you a whole fucking car, truck for free. And it's like, why do you think in USA we don't really have a community foundation like that? Like in other countries, for example, even if you ride a bike, someone's like, oh, here, you can have my bike. I don't need it anymore. Like, why do you think in other countries they have that foundation community? In USA, it's a lot of dog eat dog, or I'm gonna do this. I don't need you. I can do this shit without you. Why do you think it is that way?
A lot of cultures do things based off of collectivism. We're more of an individualistic country. Everybody kind of looks out for themselves. It's kind of a thing where it's in the roots of the culture. It's not really like, I mean, you go to other countries, you'll see with Japan, China, Thailand, wherever, a lot of those countries are developed with collectivist culture. Everything is together. For us, it's kind of more individualistic, just based off of our economy, media, all that type of stuff. I mean, it's just in the roots of our society
Yeah, yeah,
in the
that's
United
very.
States.
And what rock band would you guys want to be in?
Avenged Sevenfold. Tell
Oh,
them I say
That's a
hi.
good one. That's a
they're
good one.
amazing. Yeah, they're fucking.
Rock band. Let's see. I've been listening to a lot of Pantera recently, so maybe.
Oh, they're amazing. Yeah, I got to meet the singer a few months back. Dude's amazing guy, really inspiring, great performer. What's also awesome is he has his own band Pantera, but at the same time he has a super group called Down. But he's in both bands at the same time, so that's
Interesting.
really inspiring.
Nice.
Yeah, because that's difficult to pull off.
Right. Yeah. No, I gotta look that up. The other band.
Yeah. And who would you be? Casper, Jack Sparrow, RoboCop, or Terminator, or Game of Thrones?
Mm, Casper,
It's tough.
Jack Sparrow, Terminator.
Sparrow.
I'm gonna have to go with Sparrow. Sparrow is just like, and he's got a boat. You know, he can go anywhere. You know, he's got a crew.
Yeah,
Like, I think he turns into a ghost or something at nighttime. So he's kind of like Casper, same
that's true.
vein.
And what would you say is your guys' worst fear in your near-death experience you had?
Oof. Man,
Mm,
oof.
worst
I have a
fear.
bad need for. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
I gotta say for me,
Shoot.
it's
Yeah.
probably
I mean, I was just gonna say.
heights.
Driving on the road and being next to a semi truck. You will see me speed up to like 80 miles an hour if I ever see a semi truck. Because I remember one time I was driving and the semi truck almost hit me. And the first thing I thought about is if the car flipped over, I would die. I was like, nah, that's probably my worst fear currently.
oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's scary.
That shit is scary.
I got a bad need for speed. My biggest fear is probably getting on a bike and being like, let's see what 200's like one day. So I will not be on bikes. So
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I would never ride a motorcycle. There's been too many accidents, too many people who became paralyzed, lost a leg, an arm, and it's like I don't want it to happen. I'm good, you know. That's just crazy. And what way do you guys prefer to travel? You know, some people, you know, they like to travel by bus, by car, by plane, by bike, by boat. But what's your favorite way to travel and why?
I'm gonna say driving, man. I love me some driving. I drive a lot. And, yeah, I drive a lot. So it's quick. I mean, it's the quickest way to get there where you have control of it. So I'm like, I love driving. I drive a lot. So
Yeah,
Oh yeah, no, I gotta go with probably plane, most likely. It's like plane. I get it. Like you're not in control, so I understand that fear. But like,
yeah,
I think it's just the speed of the travel for me. It's like you know, so like 12 hours to get from North Carolina to like New Jersey or New York or something, somewhere crazy like Connecticut or something. I don't know, one of the northern states. You hop
yeah.
on a plane, you're there in like 2 hours.
That's true.
plain for me, the feeling of just looking out that window and seeing literally everything is like one of the best memories I'll hold. I always get excited to go on planes. So
Yeah, I mean, so far I've been on 3 planes, and the only thing I don't like about it is turbulence, the takeoff and the landing. It's really hard to get used to. I mean, once you're in the air, I feel like it's a lot more, uh, bearable. But the takeoff, it's really hard to get used to that, and the landing and the turbulence is really hard to get used to that.
I think that and probably like airplane food.
Yeah,
Like they love to come around with their little cookies and miniature Sprite. It's like, nah, I need something different, man. Like paying for this flight. Give me some steak.
so, who would you be? A Pokemon Master, a Duel Master, or a Super Saiyan?
Mm,
Super Saiyan
Pokemon
for me.
Master build.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be
yeah,
Yep.
the
Super.
Super Saiyan, even close.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not even.
It's too much power.
Yeah. How about Godzilla or King Kong?
Mm.
I gotta go Godzilla, man. I feel like it's easier to clean myself at night. Just hop back
Yeah.
in the ocean.
No, seriously. Yeah, I gotta go Godzilla. He
I was
doesn't
gotta
have a
travel
bad
the
rap.
world to find
Yeah,
a
they
place
got
to
Zilla.
How about would you be a vampire, zombie, a shapeshifter, snow yeti, or Bigfoot?
Shapeshifter.
Vampire, zombie, shapeshifter. You said zombie or Yeti? Mm.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
Are we talking
vampire.
like good zombies, like smart
yeah, yeah,
zombies, or like
yeah.
I'd probably be a good
You're gonna
zombie
be
because
a
that means
zombie.
the rest of the world is zombified, and
Yeah.
and I don't want to get eaten. so I'm already kind of converted there, so I'd be all right, I think.
Yeah. How about would you
I want
be
to.
yeah, my bad.
No, you're good. I was gonna say vampire, but I want to
Yeah.
still go out during the day, so I don't know.
Do you
I don't want
think
to stretch it.
like vampires are real?
Um,
I don't
like
think they're real. I
nocturnal
think they're
carnivores. Yeah, maybe.
nocturnal
I wouldn't want to
carnivores.
meet one under their circumstance. That's for sure. They'd probably be hungry. So,
And would you be a tooth fairy, Krampus, Sandman, Santa, uh, Uncle Sam, fairy, an elf, or a gremlin, or a demon, or a devil, or a gargoyle?
Mm,
Hmm.
I don't know. That's a tough one. They're all like they're all like kind of they got a little downside to them.
Yeah.
Like every single one. So it's like you gotta pick the lesser of
I don't know, bro. I kind of
evils.
like the idea of a gargoyle. Just kind of get to sit there, and if I need to, I can turn up real quick, spread my wings, jump off the post, go back, turn into stone. Nobody knows I was even there.
Yeah, I mean the cartoon was crazy. It was a good cartoon back in the day.
Oh yeah, it was. Who are some artists? Not just music, but just in general, some people in the industry who inspire you guys.
Mm,
Not a lot. I mean, as a producer, I'm just gonna say, growing up, I grew up in an area where hip hop was very prevalent, but I also spent a lot of time on the internet. So I definitely love all the EDM guys, like all the Monster Cat Underground guys. I started off listening to them. They got me into kind of producing, and then as I started to kind of get older and walk around and get to know more people, that hip hop influence came in, and about that time, guys like Metro kind of popped up, and it was just like, oh man, it's like a producer that's actually getting the same type of attention as any other artist. He kind of, I feel like he changed the game on how producers are looked at from that standpoint. So definitely a big inspiration, especially with the originality and the stories I've heard. His collab with Razor is what really got me going, because I was a big tech guy growing up. So when I saw that, I was like, I can respect that. So yeah, big shout outs to him. Definitely look to him for inspiration all the time. So
Yeah. And you fly?
oh man, I have a lot of musical inspirations, but if I had to narrow it down, when I first started rapping, um, I was listening to like a lot of like Wu-Tang, Kendrick Lamar. I was listening to Black from Atlanta. Like he just has a really nice flow. Um, Creatively, I like the ASAP Mob. As far as when they're doing stuff, it's like visually they always put on a really good show. So I like the visuals of that camp. But I gotta say right now, my greatest inspiration is probably my team. Like just everybody that's around. Like I don't really see too much, in my opinion, happening outside of what we're doing. Maybe I'm just closed-minded, but we got some big things coming on the way.
Oh yeah, and slime, you?
I'm gonna say, since I took like the more business side of this, I would say like Dave Free. That was the manager of TDE. I'm gonna also say creatively it's gonna be like there's a director named David Camara. He directs all Larry June and Alchemist videos, so that's another inspiration. And then mixing those careers together, I would also say what's his name, Sean Kelly. So like those are like my three inspirations right now that I kind of look at, just because I'm like doing like, I admit, like four different things at once. It's not like I'm doing one job as a manager. I'm doing a bunch of different things and learning a bunch of different skills. So I'll take skills from disciplines in like finance or like videography or you know legal stuff. Like I watch a lot of lawyers on Instagram and learn how to read those contracts. So later on, when those things do come along, I know what to do. So I kind of got my hand in so many different places. I have a lot of different inspirations. So I'm trying to learn as much as I can about the game we're in right now.
Yeah. So if you guys had your own country, what are 5 differences that would make your country different than any other country in the world?
Mm.
I'll pretty much set it up like how we set up our business. Like there is no hierarchy, so to speak. There's kind of like no leadership. We all kind of just we're all working towards the same goal. Nobody's treated as above or beneath anybody else. Like, you know, we all shed red at the end of the day, so all that status don't matter. So,
Yeah.
you know,
I'd like to help people learn how to be more self-educated. I think one thing for me is I just went through a standard kind of public school system in a more lower income area, and it wasn't until I got out on my own and said, you know what, let me try to do everything I always wanted to do. I ended up finding a school like Full Sail that was private, did school online because of the pandemic, and I think learning how to self-teach yourself things and then find mentors through that craft that you can rely on and build a network is honestly bigger than a lot of things and doesn't get talked about enough. So
I would implement financial literacy very early in, teach people how to manage their money, just because I've seen a lot of people blow through a lot of money really fast, crash, and it's hard to bounce back. So I would say very early on, teach them the importance of saving, retirement, 401ks, Roth IRAs, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, what I feel like is, if I had my own country, one thing that USA doesn't offer versus like other countries is more programs for people in the industry, who do music, interviews, photography, videography, graphic art, of course, producing, DJing, music, just every field pretty much. I don't feel
Mhm.
like there's a big enough government program in every state that helps those people get on their feet and get work, because like there's so many programs that help you get a job at Costco, Walmart, Fry's, gas station, a normal 5 to 9 job, but they don't have enough programs where people like us could actually get it could help us get more work and get more money, and also it could help us from what we already do and how to get money. For example, like I also I do graphic art, so that's also a field where in USA it's very hard to get money from those kind of jobs, because you got to really be development, your name and your status. But I feel like that's really lacking here in the USA is a program that just helps get those people on their feet. There's some programs like that in USA, but it's very small. But there's a lot more in other countries. Especially like in places like China, there's a whole fucking program that helps fucking content creators get money and show them how to get money and help them make a stable income. I feel like it's so sad. It's such a fucking tragic that we don't really have that in USA, because USA don't really consider what we do actual work. But people don't know is we're fucking probably working so many hours. It's crazy. Sometimes we're up for days working on music or videos or photos or whatever it is, because
Mhm.
it is hard work. We are still doing work. We're not just laying on our asses. Like, and I feel like U.S. government should see that and classify us as yes, we're working too. We're not just laying around. We're actually fucking putting in the grind. And I mean, how's that make you feel that the U.S. government doesn't really see what we do classified as actual work? They put it in like, oh, yeah, it's a side thing.
I think it's
that
just,
should be good.
yeah, I was just gonna say that. Yeah,
To kind
it's
of keep
just,
doing what I'm doing,
yeah, they're just gonna, you know, it's outdated belief systems, So once these belief systems change, which inevitably they will, it's like, the content creator is already becoming like something a child wants to be when they grow up. So it's like, yeah, that
Yeah.
shift is happening. So it's gonna happen sooner than later.
Well, yeah, and I think what's crazy is, there's a lot more jobs in what we do because there's so many there's so many avenues in this industry that you could work in. It's not just one set thing: be a musician, be a DJ, to be a producer. Because there's behind the scene people. There's the mix and mastering. There's the editors. There's the producers. There's the co-producers. There's the script writers. There's so many jobs that could be had, but people just don't take the time, and that's really a letdown because doing this kind of work is really all about imagination, and that's really what really sets the groundwork for making beautiful work.
Yeah. I
That's
think when
true.
you get being hired for jobs and the more instant gratification, for example, like, anybody can start making music. Anybody can try to do things like fashion model, OnlyFans, whatever. But when you actually like are able to bring in independent workers and designers and artists for bigger projects that actually mean something, like imagine an artist was able to design schematics for a local playground or park, right? That's going to speak more volumes to the people, I feel like, a little bit higher than just like, oh, that guy's, he's a producer, he's probably out dating 50 girls from OnlyFans, or he's an artist, he's probably scamming and robbing. It's like, well, what if guys like us had opportunities to do more important things than just entertainment,
Yeah.
right? So I think that is going to happen eventually. It's just going to, it sounds like we're all hard workers and we enjoy our craft very seriously, and sometimes I feel like seriously more than the guy working the super fancy job because he just found a way in or had a good network, but it's just the name of the game, right? So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's it's true that you brought that up because when it comes down to it, I feel like, for example, like what we do is we could bring people together. So think about it, like people like us working like as government, we could actually make a change or difference for the community. For example, like I know that there's like art therapy, music therapy, for people going through mental issues and trauma issues and depression and anxiety. Um, a lot of the times our music and our journalism or whatever it is, producing, managing, it helps people and it gives them guidance to go on, gives them hope. And I feel like we all need that. But like, a person wearing at like 7-Eleven or Walmart, like, that doesn't really inspire anybody. It kind of brings like depression, but what we do, it makes a difference in the world, and it's bigger than us because there's a lot of people from other countries. They ain't got nothing. They listen to our music or they see what we do, and they're like, damn, I don't have anything, but I'm inspired by these people. Like, I want to go out and be a musician or a videographer or a manager, and I want to make change. I feel like we make a lot of change in the world and make it a better place instead of how corrupt it is. Because the world is so corrupt and so hateful. But I feel like also with our art, we we could also in racism, because and make people realize it doesn't matter the color of skin. What we do, we could all do any job field in this industry regardless of race. And I feel like that's also another thing in this generation is people are still hateful. Like I'm Mexican, so a lot of people are still hateful about that, and it's so fucked up, and it's just like when you go to the border in USA still, they profile you as like, oh hey, like, is this person Mexican? Let's lock this person up. And it's like, when are we gonna get past that shit? Like, it's 2025. Like, that's completely stupid. Like, who fucking cares? Like, okay, I'm Mexican, so what? Like, that doesn't simplify the person I am, So I mean, how does that make you feel, and how do you think we could graduate from that to be a more peaceful society in the USA? Because I know in other countries it's already like a lot more peaceful in other places. So how do you think we could get past that in the USA and break those chains and break those barriers?
Like well said, it's just outdated. It's just a lot of outdated people in different chairs and different seats. So once you clear those people out and a new generation comes in, it'll probably just start to fizzle out. Policy will change, everything's going to change. But with the people in the seats now, it's kind of it's kind of like a wait out game. You can't really like, I can't just jump up tomorrow and say, oh, I'm gonna go change it. But I
Yeah.
can make small incremental changes in how I act around people and things like that. To
I can be a positive influence in my community. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
I can use whatever wealth I garnish from, music or manga or whatever the case it is to actually like create those financial literacy programs or do the things that, we all say that we would do in our ideal society. It's just all about doing it on a micro level scale. And then as that thing grows and everything else grows around you, it'll naturally start to become macro. So it's like start small.
Yeah, and then as an individual, breaking any stereotype that gets thrown your way. That was a big one for me. Most people call me crazy for going off and even trying to go to school and learn music and business. But I mean, I want to change it for the world, even if I don't know anybody from my past that did the same thing as me. I mean, it was either that or sit there and let all the anger get pent up inside me. So being a guy that business, liking to study stuff, that to me that's just breaking every stereotype that's ever been thrown my way. So and that makes me feel comfortable at night when I go to bed.
That's true. So, who would you be? A Power Ranger, Transformer, or a Ninja Turtle?
Hmm.
God, that's like my three favorite childhood things, man.
Probably a transformer, man. Not gonna lie. Just be a sweet car, like my dream car, just be a nice, like classic convertible type car. And then turn up if I have to. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably be like a good guy Starscream,
Right.
because Starscream's.
I had to pick Transformer on that one. That's probably the best. That'd be great.
Yeah, and what I feel like is what people don't understand is, with Power Rangers, Transformer, Ninja Turtles, what the message, the deeper message is these are good guys fighting corrupt governments. They're fighting corrupt bad guys, and they're putting them in place because justice is being served. In the end, they're making the world a peaceful place. So they are superheroes, but they're saving the world. And I feel like people always miss what those cartoons and animes are trying to portray. I think that's the amazing thing about Power Ranger, Transformer, and Ninja Turtle is they're all very similar because they are heroes. They are making a difference in the community and in the world. And, they're making the world a better place. And that's like the deeper message. It's not just cool people and like a transform into a car, dude in a nice suit, like an alien Ninja Turtle type thing. They're actually making a difference and they're actually good people. And I feel like that's what a lot of people in this generation get confused by. They look back at that stuff like, oh yeah, it's just cartoonish, kiddie stuff. But that stuff actually gives you deep meaning in life and actually gives you lessons. Like there's a lot of lessons. For example, like these people are never hateful at all. They're always nice, but they put the bad guys in their place, which in real life it does come down to that. Sometimes you got to put the bad guys in their place because you can't talk shit out with them, and that's what has to happen. Sometimes the ass whooping has to happen, and it shows that Power Rangers, But sometimes you got no choice. And I think that's the amazing thing about cartoons from like our childhood and shit like that. It teaches us that, like, versus now, a lot of like cartoons now, you don't really learn a lot. It's kind of like ignorant, stupid shit. Um, how does that make you feel?
Uh, I mean, I gotta say, like, I think there's always a profound lesson behind a lot of these animations, even in earlier cartoons, Ed, Edd n Eddy and Courage the Cowardly Dog, stuff like that. There's a lesson to be learned in a lot of that stuff. So I think I'll go back to what I said before, those are profound lessons, but everything starts from a small place first. You have to start small first. You know, if you try and set your sights super high, you'll just end up flying into the sun and melting. So set your sights small first. Affect your local community, you know, network with people, talk with people, I wouldn't have the connects that I have had I not connected with Slime there, or even had the connects I have if I had not connected with Sing back in 10, 15 years ago, So it's like you have to really connect with people and start small, and then things will grow larger. I mean, Nomads is living proof of that.
Yeah, man, we started pretty dang small. There's pretty much nothing out there compared, and then doing all this networking and communicating with people all over the country. You know, DMing you and all sorts of people all over the place. I've DM'd people from Japan, China, Thailand, wherever you could think of, whatever I think would get us that influence. And this brand has expanded like crazy. I didn't think it'd be this big, and I guess what 8 years ago, I didn't. I just thought I just want to do something different.
Hmm. And all those guys had to train first before
Yeah.
they were able to do any of the things they were able to do. So they spent hours in the gym. They spent hours practicing routines, whatever it is, practicing coordination. So, start small.
Yeah.
That's
They're
all I
small.
say.
Yeah, and
And
when it comes to the cartoon example, man, I just feel like the competition wasn't as big as it is now because I mean anybody can turn on their camera and post a funny clip on Instagram. I remember back in the machinima days, I thought those are cool, like on YouTube and stuff. And now people can
Hmm.
make reels of whatever game they're playing, become streamers. I mean, how many kids are really watching cartoons, right? And their favorite streamer on their iPad to where guys like us, we were like, no, we want to see that next episode of Power Rangers. We want to see that next episode of, the Clone Wars or something like that, right? So, I don't know. It's
yeah.
just my 2 cents.
And would you be the sun, the moon, star in the sky, or the universe?
I'm gonna go
Going
with the
moon.
moon. Yeah.
And would you be E.T., a gremlin, a troll, SpongeBob, Scooby Doo, Felix Cat, Popular Sailor Man, Betty Boop, a Jetson, King of the Hill, Beavis and Butthead, Futurama, or Smurf character? Oh, our cat dog, or Garfield.
Eating
I'm gonna have to go
lasagna every day
Futurama.
sounds funny.
Yeah, Futurama. I think it's probably my favorite show out of the list, so I'd probably go into that one.
I'm gonna throw I'm gonna be the odd one. I'll go King of the Hill because I feel like no matter how many things happen to those guys in the show, nothing ever happens to them at the end, and they just go back to being normal dudes. And honestly, I don't want to live the rest of my life like that. It seems pretty peaceful. Just
Yeah.
to have all this crazy stuff happen, come back at the end of the day, and just be like, yeah, yep,
Yeah. Just
Yep.
sit on this fence and drink beer.
yep, yeah.
So, do you guys got any upcoming releases or shows coming up or tour coming up or anything like that?
As far as music,
Yeah.
yes. So there's gonna be some new stuff coming out. I can't say a specific date for sure, but I do have some stuff coming out. So stay tuned for that. There's also the 808s and bass music video that's in process right now. So that's gonna be coming out as well. And there's also I have some manga panels coming out. Those will be visible on my Instagram page. So just keep an eye out on either of our IGs or the Nomads page. You're bound to see it.
Any projects you got coming out?
I'm working on that music video for the 808s and bass. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like a culmination of things I've learned over many years of video editing. So that's the main thing I've been working on. I'm kind of planning some stuff out the country. Just like you said, start small, but I've been networking with a lot of different people, trying to get a lot of different things set up. So later on, we can start working on things a little bigger. But main thing I'm working on is that music video. It's gonna be really dope.
Yeah, for me, on terms of music, just working even more closely with Flyboy, I feel like we have something. We hit the ground hard with that Okami project. I think we're touching like close to 300,000 streams on the whole album, so that's big time. So I'm working exclusively with him, not really bringing anybody else in. But on my own accord, I'm also helping build a YouTube channel for my full-time job and trying to see if I can actually build another way of being able to be a cool producer in my eyes, add videography to my resume, things like that. So
So you're saying eventually you want to be able to make learn like skills like CGI and animation to like incorporate in music videos. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that'd be great. I mean, not gonna lie, I do like to stay up with the trends. So I've been kind of trying, dibble and dabbling with AI and having them create certain images. But I never end there. I always throw it into another software and try to expand on it even more. So I mean, yeah, I use AI mostly as like a template for a lot of the graphic design. So I could definitely see myself in the future being able to implement those type of technologies into producing music, helping Slime with the video editing, or even just
Yeah.
regular posts for Flyboy, things like that. So
And what's your guys' favorite movie? And three reasons it connects with you.
Mm, favorite movie. Uh, I'm a big cinema buff, so just to have a favorite for me is really hard. But I have timepieces, or something that I really like for a certain period of time. So I think right now that's probably. I just saw James Gunn's new Superman um a couple
Okay.
weeks ago. I saw it day one, I think, Friday night it came out. Um, Definitely one of my favorite movies, and for three reasons. I mean, he's doing everything that a superhero should be doing in a film. He's
Yeah.
saving lives, whether it's humans, animals, or he's trying to rehabilitate the villains or creatures or whatever's going on. Um, just a symbol of hope. This, like you say, some dark times and where we are. So to have a movie about this guy who is actually being positive and proving that being positive in the current era or days, can be a good thing. Is a good refresher for superhero movies and cinema and stuff like that. And a third reason, I mean, it's a great it's a great message. There's a lot of great message in there. There's political messages. There was social media, entertainment messages. Like just really good stuff hitting all throughout that film. So I'll say that's my current timepiece.
yeah, for me, Star Wars Episode 2, 3, and 4. Yep. 2 is the first time you see multiple Jedi on screen. Love it. 3 is obviously the anchor that ties everything together. And 4 is one of the best produced movies to ever go in history just because they didn't even have anything that your standard Hollywood budget would have. They used tabletop figurines for the Death Star trench run. I mean, as a guy from behind the scenes, that's like to do that. So
Okay. I'll say the most impactful movie for me is going to be the first Transformers movie, and then it's kind of left field, but it's called this movie called The Pact. So
Yeah.
it's like an older movie. It's about three, I think they're black doctors or black something physician, like physicists or something. They started out with a hard life and made themselves into well-known physicists, scientists, and things like that. And that's just because it shows positivity in the black community. Um, it shows that you can come from nothing, become something, and then it's just a positive story. So I saw that movie back in like fourth grade or something, and that it always replays in my head. So it's like a really inspirational movie for me.
Well, it's appreciated. It's been Exo Dreamcatcher with Abari Entertainment. So how can people find you? And the last question is mythical creature you would be.
All right, so you can find me at flyboyrel underscore on Instagram. I'm also flyboyrel on Xbox if you ever want to game with me. I'm pretty much flyboyrel on everything. So if you ever need trouble finding me, literally just type in flyboyrel. You'll find me somewhere. And a mythical
yeah,
creature, sorry, I'd be like a wolf, some type of mythical wolf type creature, maybe an elemental or something.
All right, so to find me, I'm Slime Lambo. So I mean, on everything, it's just Slime Lambo. No underscores, nothing like that. Just type in Slime Lambo, you'll probably find it. Mythical creature. Hmm. Hmm. I honestly don't know. I would just have a superpower. I would want to fly or something, or teleport or something. That's
Yeah.
the first thing I thought of when you said that. So I
Yeah.
ain't really got no mythical creature, but
Yeah. And how can people find you?
Yeah, Sing, honestly, most of the time on all my channels, I'm Sing X2. It's just up to you. You can probably find me Instagram, Meta, Xbox, big gamer guy there. Mythical creature, that's a tough one. I don't know the exact name, but anywhere where I could be a giant snake in a rainforest sounds about good for me. I would enjoy that. So, get to move around fast.
Well,
Dinner would be
appreciate
quick.
appreciate it's been EXO Dreamcatcher episode 96 with Nomads. Jesus with you. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe to the website, the Twitter, the TikTok, and THC Chef. Don't forget to watch his show, Abari Live, Well for Generations, and keep spreading Bari entertainment like wildfire. And go stream on Nomads music. And appreciate you all for your time. Extra Dreamcatcher, Bari Entertainment, just with you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. I'm blessed. Just with
All
thank
right, these guys.
you.
peace.
Stuff.